Hello and welcome to Sport This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
And I am Tayo Salam.
Yes, on the show this morning, Kennedy Boboye, after 3 successive draws at home, and the one that was really hurtful the most happened to be drawing goalless against Heartland. Aqua United coach, he has resigned from his position.
Wow, that's a bit of a shocker. Kennedy Boboye, who led Aqua United to the first NPFL title, that was just last season, has left his role as a coach of Aqua United. Also on the program, basketball this time around, where the D Tigers have clinched qualification for the 2022 FIBA World Cup in Australia.
All right, for the D Tigers, they will be in Sydney.
Fantastic. Awesome stuff. Look at the joy in their faces.
Celebrations and everything. We all waited for it, and finally they got that ticket. Also on the program, yes, there's the Super Bowl, and this time around Los Angeles Rams rallied late to beat Cincinnati Bengals 23-20 to deliver a Hollywood ending to the Super Bowl, the franchise first championship since returning to the West Coast 6 years ago.
Wow, fantastic. What an ending indeed. I like that word, Hollywood ending. That's what it was indeed. Late move there to secure the St. Louis, not St. Louis anymore. They're back in LA now. I keep saying St. Louis.
St. Louis, come on.
But they're back in LA now, and they are the Super Bowl champ. Congratulations to them. We'll come back to that.
7 in the history.
Right, we'll come back to that shortly. But before then, Cecilia, let's talk about someone who's making his piece of history.
Yeah.
Felix Auger-Aliassime.
You know, we'll always be talking about the guy. And he's no longer a teenager, right?
No.
Yeah, he's in his 20s now. Well, for Felix, I think it was a remarkable thing for him facing Tsitsipas. I mean, Tsitsipas was clear favorite to win this.
Absolutely.
But somehow, you know, what his run at the Australian Open tells you a whole lot of what this guy can achieve. Not just Australian Open, at the US Open also. We've seen the consistency he's been having recently. And so this is just to cap it up.
You can say that again, Cecilia. At the night attempt, Felix Auger-Aliassime has finally won an ATP title, and he's done it in convincing fashion as well.
Straightforward.
Against
Stefanos
Tsitsipas. Cecilia, coming into this game, he had lost 5 in a row against Tsitsipas. So you thought, oh, not again. It's not going to happen for him. But there was no stopping Felix this time around.
When it started
broke serve in the opening game of the match before raising through the 4 sets in just 40
minutes. 6-4. It was over.
So it tells you
he raised the game again.
Business.
He raised the game again in the second set, breaking to love in the opening game before his second break. In the 5th game, I mean, gave him that 4-1 lead. And he never looked back because Tsitsipas has no way to come back. So comfortably, he served out the game, complete in 79 minutes.
Wow.
Yes.
6-4, 6-2.
And he was playing against Stefanos Tsitsipas, a guy he has lost to how many times, you say?
Yeah, 5
times.
In a row.
So it shows that Tsitsipas wasn't in the game at all, and Felix was ready. He was ready for this game.
At the
that's what it means to him.
Relief.
I mean, you know what it means to get in finals? How many times you've attempted to get it, and why you're so close, it just doesn't happen for you.
Oh,
I mean, remember what he did to Daniil Medvedev, right? At the Australian Open. I mean, it was a painful loss for me after watching him in 5 sets.
I like the fact that you referred to his last 2 majors in Australia and the US Open, where he got to the semi-finals as well. And we saw how he narrowly lost to Daniil Medvedev in Australia as well. So you can say he'd been knocking on the door, and finally the door is open for Felix Auger-Aliassime. Let's take a listen to his post-match reaction.
It's the biggest relief, you know. Man, I can't explain the weight off my shoulder right now. It's just, you know, I got a little bit emotional with my family, you know, towards the end after the match, and it's crazy, you know. I've had sleepless nights, you know, thinking about this title, and you know why I can't, you know, overcome this feat. And I didn't have a clear reason, but definitely I think this year I just wanted to overcome that. I wanted to be a better player overall, more consistent, more solid in my mind, and I think today I showed that, and this week I showed it against the best players in the world. So incredibly happy just to get this first title under my belt, and now I can play more freely almost.
The monkey is off his back, finally, Cecilia.
So he can play freely now. So expect what's going to show at the Wimbledon. That's next, right?
Right, we'll go to France first.
France first, the French
Paris.
Open. Yeah, it's not really, I've really not seen so much of him on clay. But on hard courts and grass, I mean, he's awesome. So let's see what's going to happen.
Let's see whether we'll make it 2 titles at any time soon. Congratulations to Felix Auger-Aliassime. All right, let's talk about the Super Bowl now. Cecilia went down in Los Angeles early this morning between the Los Angeles Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals. And like I said at the start of the show, it was a very, very late touchdown that gave the Rams a 23-20 victory in Super Bowl 56.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford kept his poise to engineer that 15-play drive, ended with one-yard touchdown pass. I mean, to who else? MVP, Cooper Kupp. I mean, it was great. That was 1 minute 25 seconds left to play. Yeah. And it just went on and on. And I mean, wrap it up. I mean, these guys were ready. When you have someone like a defensive lineman, Aaron Donald, wrapping it up, you have some other players who just came to the party. Despite the fact that their star player got injured, he was out. Odell Beckham Jr. When Odell left, everyone was thinking maybe that's it for them. Yeah. And then they fell behind 2013 in the third. But somehow, it was that final performance coming in the fourth quarter that just gave them. Okay, performance coming from Mary J. Blige and the top stars Nelly, Hollywood, really.
50 Cent right there. We saw Dr. Dre as well to Snoop
And of course, Snoop Dogg, part of the halftime show.
Eminem as well to showed out during the halftime show. But the day belonged to the Rams. The Rams, what a season they having as the first title since returning to Los Angeles, like we said at the start of the show. And their star-studded roster simply delivered when it mattered most there. Okay, that's allowed.
Things like that usually happen when you won a championship.
And of course, the fans are celebrating. They're only the second team to win a Super Bowl in their own stadium. That was after Tampa Bay did it last year. You remember?
Courtesy of who?
Tom Brady. Tom Brady's gone now. It's over to the likes of these young stars to take over the game now, and they've done very, very well for themselves. The fans obviously are not going to sleep, not going to get any sleep anytime soon. They'll be celebrating through the night. Let's get their reactions now. This time, the fans of the Rams obviously very delighted.
Unreal, just electric. SoFi Stadium bringing all the energy. Just the fact that it came down to a last-minute play.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
and
a lot of fun.
I was there for Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem.
She's got her priorities set.
High school dreams, baby, come to life. But yes, go Rams.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Oh, my feet were shaking, my hands were shaking, but when Donald came in with that sack, let's go, Donald! Yeah! Let's do it! Rams house!
Rams house.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, the celebrations and everything. I love the fact that, you know, when you move to a new home ground, you always want to give that town a championship, something to celebrate. And that's exactly what they did last night. Against all odds, they came out tops and were able to rally round and get the victory, despite the start living. But Matthew, I think, step up, step forward. I mean, the guy, a lot of credit to Matthew.
A lot of credit to Stafford. And I remember when they made that trade for Matthew. That was, I think it was in Detroit or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, he spent 12 seasons there. I mean, losing, he didn't win anything, and then he coming back here, here now. I mean, it's good. I think it was just a good thing that he was able to meet the coach. I remember the story how he met the coach Sean, you know, in Mexico, and then he told him, during vacation, and then he joined the team, and they said they can win a championship together. And this is the story today. Somehow you just have to leave your comfort zone and move to a place.
You got to make
that move. And right now, he is a Super Bowl champion.
It's got the ring. It's got the ring. Congratulations, of course, OBJ as well, too. Let's not forget OBJ. Finally, it's got the ring as well, too.
I mean, he's done so much, and this is what he's been waiting for.
Exactly, and actually caught the first touchdown of the game. They had that terrible injury, not a game, but I guess... of course, he is smiling very, very hard.
That his team stepped up when he mattered most.
Stepped up without him, you know, and he's a Super Bowl champion as well. So congratulations to the Los Angeles Rams, the Super Bowl champions. All right, let's leave the NFL now. Let's go to the NBA. Just the 2 games that went down for obvious reasons. You can't be competing for eyeballs with the NFL, the Super Bowl. Exactly. But actually, as a matter of fact, these games were played way before.
Very early, way
before
the Super Bowl,
So I can understand that. So 2 games went down between the Atlanta Hawks and the Boston Celtics. And it was the Boston Celtics that prevailed 105-95. Jason Tatum with 38 points in that game. That's our feature match. We'll come back to it shortly. Elsewhere, the Timberwolves defeated the Indiana Pacers 129-120. Anthony Davis celebrating a milestone by scoring 37 points in that victory.
Yeah, I mean, Edwards is turning to be something else. When it was drafted as number one, everyone was like, what's he going to offer? But right now, 37 points.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems, I mean, if you check what this young man has achieved, he's the 4th youngest player in NBA history to reach the 2,500 points mark. I mean, when he made that first basket of the game.
That's
second,
impressive.
I mean, he's 20 years, 192 days old. I mean, he's in the company of course, the great players like LeBron, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker. They are the only other players that have achieved that feat.
Yeah.
So for Edwards, is just right now in a very good company.
Yeah, you can say that again when you've been mentioned along the likes of King James, KD, and Devin Booker. Then you know you're doing something definitely. All right, take a ball wherever you are. Anthony Davis. Let's focus on our feature match. Anthony Edwards, rather, not Davis. All right, let's focus on the Boston Celtics and Atlanta Hawks. Ended up being a very interesting game, but Boston prevailing by 10 points at the end of 4 quarters. Jason Tatum with 38 points in that victory. The Celtics have won 8 in a row. Cecilia, earlier in the season, we're talking about how they struggle to win 4.
They can string 3 or 4 together, but right now it's 8. I hope they can continue like this.
Hopefully.
I mean, Tatum did not just put up 38 points. He also had 10 rebounds in the game, and he wasn't the only one making a contribution on the night. Robert Williams also added 10 points, 14 rebounds, and Jaylen Brown, of course, has scored 17 points. Marcus Smart also added 13. So these guys on double digits, then that streak is a good one. I mean, Ime Udoka, give it to him, especially as a coach. He's stringing this together. It's the longest, right? Under him. Yeah, it's just like they're having 8 this season.
By far the longest winning streak under the first-year coach, Nigeria's own Ime Udoka. Let's get his post-game thoughts on the Celtics winning streak.
Yeah, I think we took our lumps early, finishing games, but like I said the other day, and the team has always responded well to being challenged. Even in the games we were losing, the way we were losing early, I was always optimistic because we did build big leads with people in and out of lineups. The team never, stopped fighting or stopped playing the right way. We still continued to build leads, and then we got better as the season went, finishing games, and now you add a few pieces that obviously winning breeds some of that confidence, and I think guys are gelling together well, and it's kind of like we know the group we have going forward now. So, I think we're on a good streak right now, and we always know we can buckle down and lock in when we need to defensively, and if the nights where the shots aren't falling, you can grind it out, but if they are falling, you see some of the results we had in the past 5 or so games.
All right, that's Coach Ime Udoka. Obviously, delighted with the Boston Celtics 8-game winning streak, and they look to sustain that momentum going into the All-Star break as well as post-All-Star break and trying to make it into the playoffs. That is the #1 target for the Boston Celtics. Jointly, the most successful NBA franchise with the LA Lakers, and it's good to see Boston doing well, and Coach Ime not looking as frustrated as it was.
As it was at the beginning of the season.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was having a tough season, but right now I think he's getting in the groove. We talked about him not being experienced enough and having those players who actually coach and everything. He talked about the fact that when they're your friends, I mean, the way you interact, the way you talk to them, you relate with them, that alone helps, and that's what he's been able to bring into the Boston Celtics. Hopefully they can make the playoffs this season. Yes, they are in that pole position to do that, but consistency, that's what matters.
Still a very,
so top performers right now.
Yeah, the
of course we have
Conference, by the way.
6th in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, great company.
Not shabby.
All right, Jason, of course, starting with him. Yeah, 38, 10, and 3. And of course, who's up next? Yes, Trae Young on the losing side. Same game, 34 and 10. Not enough. And of course, Anthony Edwards, this guy who is rubbing shoulders with the big boys. 37, 5, and 4. Yes, he's leading his team to that victory over the Indiana Pacers.
Fantastic. Congratulations to all of them. All right, we're still talking basketball. Let's talk about the great, one of the greatest of all time.
Yes.
LeBron James keeps breaking
every
records.
time he steps on court.
There's some records to be broken, some milestones to be
and he's done a fantastic one this morning.
Now it's done.
Brilliant one.
He's passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the most points combined in
I'm sure
NBA
when he started his
history.
career, he never thought he would get to this point.
Never.
I
This
mean,
guy
he's 37, right?
Yeah, this guy came into the league as a teenager with a lot of expectations. You have to say he's definitely lived up to it. He's won Cleveland a title. No one has ever done that before. He's done that for them and continues to get better, continues to defy logic. Because at 37, you'd have thought he's slowed down now, but that's not the case. He's still breaking record, and that's why we're celebrating the king on the show today. He's been reacting to his latest achievement as a top scorer in NBA history in terms of playoffs and the regular season.
44,152.
Well, it's hard for me to speak on it now because I hate doing anything when it comes in a loss. And we had an opportunity to win a big game tonight. But like I said, throughout my career, anytime I've been linked with some of the greats, I've always just been in awe. You know, been appreciative of the opportunity to play this game at the highest level. You know, I love the game of basketball. I love being a part of the NBA and being able to inspire, you know, so many different sets of generations. And along that way, when you're able to accomplish things individually, then at some point, I guess, have an opportunity to kind of sit back and think about it. And I don't know, and how you feel about it. So I don't really have much of, because the loss is still so fresh in my mind. That's the only thing that's kind of like running through my mind. But my teammates came up to me. The majority of my teammates came up to me tonight when they heard the news, and coaching staff, a couple of the guys on the coaching staff as well. Got some text messages after the game from some friends and family and things, loved ones. So, you know, I guess it's a pretty, you know, a pretty big deal. And I think all the congratulatory wishes for sure.
It's a big deal. Yeah, all hail the king. It's a big deal. But then they lost that game to Golden State Warriors. What we're taking out of the game is simply because of the historic achievement. He did 44,152 points in regular season and postseason. I mean,
remarkable.
Karim, I mean, when he got that point, I felt, okay, no one will get up
those
to
kind
that.
of records,
you think it's impossible. But then he needed just 27. I think it was at 19 points that they actually got that record, and then went on, finished the game with 26 points. But then he wasn't a good game for him. I mean, LeBron, he wasn't really celebrating because James, that we know, I mean, on the night, he wants to win, but then the victory wasn't there. But then it's a big deal for him. Really.
It doesn't take anything away from the achievements. All right, congratulations.
So we're leaving the NBA and still staying with basketball, of course. Let's talk about the D Tigress, what they've been able to achieve. Now, a day before they started, we were thinking, can they make it? Because the way players were trickling in. At the first day of practice, you have just 2 players, and the next day you have 4, and then before the coach was able to get about 10 players or 11 players. I mean, when you team of having close to 12, and then some even came with 15, but then 12 players, of course, that's what you need. We didn't even go there with a complete squad.
No, it wasn't
because players were trickling in into Belgrade. I mean, taking pictures and everything. We were thinking, are we even going for it? But these guys went all out.
Showed up.
And of course, you know, when you have a star players like this, Victoria McCauley, you know what's going to happen, especially against France. It was remarkable. Promise, you know, another remarkable player. These girls went there, gave it all out, and of course, they took that ticket.
Indeed, that was the tickets for the FIBA Women's World Cup that is going down later this year in Sydney, Australia. September is tip-off, and we're all very happy. We're very delighted with the performance of the D Tigress, and the coach, Otis Hughley, has been waxing lyrical about the mental toughness of these ladies. In spite of all of the adversity that they faced, they still found a way to win and clinch Nigeria's qualification for the FIBA Women's World Cup. Cecilia, it's well documented, all of the issues, right? So there's no need to go into it again. Hopefully, the authorities put the house in order, start to do the right thing. Otis has got a very, very clear message for the authorities. We're going to listen to it after the break, Cecilia. He's done it in a very subtle way.
But we understand what he's talking about, because the ministry had to take charge, you know, of the D Tigress. I mean, when you have, look, election being Abuja. Can't everybody just come together?
No,
okay, if it's crazy. Abuja, everyone come together, do it in Abuja. If it's Benin, everyone come together, do it in Benin. Everyone wants to be president. I really don't understand what's going on. But we're happy that, at least against all odds, these girls went out, gave it all, and then they got a ticket to Sydney in September. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll be listening to Coach Otis talking about what went down in Belgrade.
it's emblematic of having 3 games in 4 days with 8 players. 1 point guard, who's really a 2, by the way. For them to do what they did, you know, that just speaks by itself. You know, there's not a whole lot you can add to that unless you just want to just put more icing on top of icing. These girls, the cake is already good, and they will eat it for years to come. Okay, it's ready. You just gotta hope somebody don't come behind them and mess it up. I just pray that Nigeria pulls it together because it's really unfair to the basketball community, and I think they're gonna try, and you know they're trying to pull it together now. But these girls did it despite all that. Next girl up, they did it. She came off the bench. O'Dara came off the bench. Palace was a bench player. Victoria was a bench player in 2019. You saw the bench out there do what you just saw. So if you dig into this thing, boy, you'll say, whoa, wait a minute, okay. Another historic moment. 2 games. 20-point turnaround. We almost flipped the script, but we didn't. So, you know, I just think that's a great question. They'll tell their kids and their kids' kids about this one. Because I don't think anybody else is having these kind of problems.
Yeah, a whole lot of problems, but somehow they were able to surpass it, especially, you know, losing a 21-point lead, right? I mean, just like, as you mentioned, against France, France lost 20-point lead, and the D Tigers closed up and they won it. Mali was almost doing the same thing to D Tigers, but when you have that mental toughness, it just keeps you going, and that's what happened to them right now. They will be going to Sydney, where the World Cup is starting September 22nd to October 1st in Sydney, Australia. Yes, Oyewuchi Wanchoko is right here in the studio joining us. He's the Deputy Editor of Sporting Life. Good morning.
Good morning, Cecilia. Good morning, Tayo.
Good morning.
I can see Cecilia is in the Valentine mood. But Tayo, you say you don't celebrate. You don't celebrate Valentine.
Okay, happy Valentine's Day to all the people that are celebrating today.
All right.
So leave out the ones that are not celebrating. I mean, D Tigers, they've done us proud because at the point we thought they were not going to go. But then just look at the game, the first game, yes, because of the fact that they've not been together. It was the first competitive game, not even competitive, more like the very first time they were meeting, you know, after the Afro-Basket and after the Olympics, and of course, these girls gave their all. They lost the first game to China by almost as much as 14 points. The second one, I mean, they won by 2 points against France. France picked a ticket, and of course, China picked a ticket. It was just one left in Group B. Is it going to be Mali or the D Tigers? Because D Tigers, you know that they needed to lose to Mali as much as 7 points, then they won't qualify. But you know, we've beaten Mali before several times, so we weren't going to lose to Mali. But somehow, they beat Mali, and then we had the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, the travels are well documented, like Tayo said. All of us here, we are aware of what happened. You know, back home, our house is not really in order.
Not at all.
But we must commend these women.
Yeah.
You know, they have shown tremendous character. You know, it's not easy to go out of your country, you know, scattered all over the place, you know, disjointed flight arrangements, got to the venue, not motivated physically and mentally, but you were able to pick yourself up after the first game. I mean, there's so much to talk about these women. So much character, so much resilience, you know, so much toughness. You know, they were able to overcome that that setback, that temporary setback. That's what I call it. It didn't really reflect, you know, the kind of quality that they had, but they showed it in the last 2 games. And we are already going to Sydney. I mean, this should touch the administrators back home.
If it doesn't, then what will?
This should be like a rallying point. They begin to ask themselves, what are we really fighting for? We are fighting, and these women are leading by example. They are putting the country first. They put aside every obstacles, and they have picked this ticket. So that should touch them. You know, they begin to think, well,
I just hope it will.
I just hope it will, because you can't be having elections at different times. You can't just come together and just hold elections. I don't know what they're afraid of. That's always my point. I mean, if you're calling for elections somewhere, I mean, everyone can come together and do it, whatever they want to do. But then I'm happy that they were able to compete. I'm happy that they got something out of the game. I'm happy that there's a ticket there. And I also, maybe let's say, I mean, the sports ministry being able to put them together, which is also another blessing. But no matter what it is, we shouldn't be talking about that. We shouldn't be talking about this. So let's just leave it here and let's listen to Promise, right, Tyler?
Yeah, Promise was one of the girls. I mean, shout out to all of them. They all showed out for Nigeria. But Promise especially had a lot of pressure on her because Ezine was missing.
So she had to stop.
She had to be. She was the only point guard on the roster.
I mean, who does that?
That's a lot of pressure and a very not ideal. But somehow she managed to help Nigeria get that all-important victory against Mali. She finished with 10 points and 8 assists in that one. And she's been talking about how this particular achievement feels more special than the first time they qualified for the World Cup.
Yeah, I think this tournament was very special for us. We battled through a lot of adversity before getting here. You know, we had Ezine Kalu injure herself in the beginning of the season. So I knew I had to step up and take on that point guard role and the leader role. I'm not very vocal, so that was a challenge for me. And then just all the other stuff with the federation and having it, like just the difficulty of coming to this tournament. I think this one was like the best one. We were able to put everything together and just come out and play and win. Yeah, and I think we really believed in ourselves, no matter what our adversity was. The sky's the limit for us. If we could get back healthy, have all our players there, have time to train, I think the sky will be the limit for us. I mean, we already probably shocked a lot of the world, but I think now we're not going to just come to show up. We're going to try to battle for the quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, you know? So yeah, we're going to have a different mindset going in to the World Cup because we know what we're capable of.
Indeed, they know what they're capable of, and with the right support, they want to go to the semifinals of this competition. Recall the last time out in Spain, they got to the quarterfinals. They were so impressive, and we thought they were going to build on it. We didn't anticipate all of these problems, even though the evidence was there, right? They're staring us in the face. But fantastic performance by the ladies, exemplary character, behavior that I hope that the sporting authorities will, take a cue from. Come on, guys, it's not that hard. All you have to do is just put the game first. All other selfish. That's what it is.
Yeah, these ladies deserve the best. I mean, they have won the Afro basketball time and time again.
Back to back.
They go out to the World Champion, they go to the Olympics, they do so well, and we should just motivate them. It's that simple. How could we allow women go through such
especially
stress, getting to a venue that we already knew was going to happen long time ago, and they've been able to scale through, overcome this obstacle.
Yeah.
Like the coach said, they shouldn't be going through all this.
Yeah, and
because I know how much the coach would have inspired, tried to talk to them, tried to psych them, telling them to forget about what is happening back home, get the ticket first, then every other thing will fall in place. I hope that things will actually fall in place.
Indeed. So we'll leave you with the last message, a very clear one coming from Ortiz, Coach Ortiz, saying he hopes that Nigeria pulls it together. And when he says Nigeria, he means the sporting authorities, the federation and the ministry. They pull it together for the girls. And
have a formidable basketball structure.
Simple.
Yeah, it's simple. It's not hard. It's just for you to forget your selfish interests, come together and build a federation that everyone will be proud of. I won't come here talking about the federation, but rather talking about what's going on the field, on the court.
Yes.
All right, we'll leave in basketball and quickly. Go to.
Let's
and
go.
still, yes. No matter how many times we take her, it's going to come. Of course, Israel Adesanya will always deliver.
Absolutely.
Again and again. The second time.
Yeah.
How did it end? We take a part 2.
Yeah, we take a part 2, of course, anyway, and still the middleweight champion of the world in the UFC, Israel Adesanya, the last style bender. The fighter went down early yesterday morning in Houston, Texas, and the first round was very good for Israel, but the second, third, fourth, and fifth, very competitive.
Yeah.
You knew Roberts was going to come with his A game after losing the first matchup via knockout all those years ago. So it ended up being a very competitive fight, but Israel, very cagey. But Israel, obviously, is the best middleweight in the world, found a way to not get into any serious trouble. Fought very smart. Cecilia, you see, usually after this fight, you ask her, has it been in a fight? Because he's hardly marked, you know, nothing really on his face, no bruises, not a lot. And you check his opponent's face, you see a lot of that. And Cecilia, at the end of 5 rounds, it was unanimous decision victory for the last style bender, who's now defended his title 4 times. But if you tell Israel he's defended his title 4 times, he'll be pissed to you because it says 5 times. Because when he had the belt, when he was interim champion, he's counting that one as a title defense as well. So I will give the last style bender that one. 5 titles, defenses, and he's already looking forward to a 6th one in June against Jared Cannonier.
That's the one we should be waiting for. I mean, Israel, it's someone. I mean, when you're talking about the UFC, of course, Kamaru is there, but Israel hits another fighter.
Yeah, obviously. This is his 11th consecutive victory, just to, you know, less than the title holder. And he's so smart, like you said. Though Whitaker stuck to his gun, but Israel is ruthless. You know, after fighting, you really cannot differentiate between him and somebody who did not fight. And you know, the last time we were talking about going, you know, trying to move to the heavyweight division. But this guy has shown that he's the best in the middleweight. True. You know, so Whitaker so it's obviously the second best. He had lost twice, so you should make do with that. And I'm hearing that for him to get another shot, he has to start all over again. Pretty much. You know, it's a long road for Whitaker to, you know, have a shot at another game against Israel Adesanya.
Yeah, I love what Israel did to him. I mean, so he will stop talking right now.
Yeah, to be fair,
he still talked yesterday. He talked.
He thought he won the game.
Yeah, he thought he won the game.
He won the fight.
Yeah, he thought, right?
Yeah,
okay.
he thought.
But when you look at the faces, I mean, it's obvious, right?
He knows he didn't win that. He knows he didn't win that fight. Yeah, he didn't win that fight. He knows it. But good luck to Robert Whittaker as well, too. And let's see if he can get back in title contention in the next couple of years. All right, let's move on now to the...
Okay, Lagos City Marathon, yes, took place the weekend. And of course, when Lagos City Marathon is round, you have the star athletes coming from East Africa. And of course, they'll come here and sweep everything away as usual. Yes, no record broken, but then it was a spectacular race as usual in the Lagos City Marathon. And this time around, it wasn't the Kenyans dominating because the Kenyans had to play second fiddle to the Ethiopians. Because for the men and the women, it was won by the Ethiopians, while the Kenyans were taking the second and the third place in both positions.
Derasa Gelata, that's the winner.
The winner for the men.
For the men, yeah.
2 hours, 11 minutes, and 54 seconds. That's what he ran. And the second position went to David Bamasa, who finished in 2 hours, 13 minutes, and 33 seconds. And of course, the last one went to Emmanuel Naimbe, who came third. 2 hours, 14 minutes, and 42 seconds, also a Kenya. For the women, it was Siranesh Yaga, who got across the finish line in 2 hours, 33 minutes, and 50 seconds. And of course, the other winners. Well, the Lagos City Marathon, as usual, started at the National Stadium, ended at Eco Atlantic in Victoria Island. You also have other people running for different causes for justice, and as usual, the sports minister and the Lagos State, all of them also, you know, doing their Yeah, their executive race, and the deputy governor also competing in 10 kilometers, a 10-kilometer race and everything. But then the day belongs to this guy who crossed the finish line first from Ethiopia. That's what it means to him.
A lot.
A lot.
There you go. Wow. I mean,
Wow! There we go.
It was 13 minutes, I mean, like about two, yeah, a lot in racing. There's a lot of time difference. That's 2 minutes. So, I mean,
there you go. Of course, a check of $30,000. That's massive for this Ethiopian. And yeah, of course, he'll be going back to his country. A very happy man.
You know what that means to him? It's a whole lot. All right, let's take a listen to, first we start with Shola Ayekbeku and Okowa, Tony Okowa. That's the President, Athletics Federation of Nigeria. Listen to them. We'll come back for more on Sport this morning.
It's very important that we establish a culture. The culture, not just of lifestyle of running, but of fitness, and also to encourage young ones. You know, so I mean, look at the crowd here. By the time you see so many people running, we had over 30 or 40,000 runners today. So that dovetails into the younger ones in the secondary schools, in the primary schools. They know they can aspire, you know, to come and be to also run, and know that there's something they can aim for it.
From the AFN aspect of it, in November, we put a lot of them in Panchin. They are now in Panchin. They are camped in Panchin. That is in Plateau. We're feeding them. We're taking care of all their welfare, all their needs, and then we cannot allow them to go out. We'll see if we can keep them for the rest of the year, and then see what next year will be like. We cannot, in the past, nobody has been looking at what they've been doing. But now I have my eyes on them, because I'm not going to release money by the grace of God and then not monitor what they are doing. So we want to make sure that the key people, and then the training will be okay, the welfare package will be second to none, and then make sure of the environment. If we give them the environment like what they have in Ethiopia and Kenya, I'm sure they will improve.
Yeah, hopefully they can improve. I love the fact that he said he's not going to release them. I mean, keep them for another 1 year. Be able to do that.
Solitary confinement?
Come on, have competitions for them. That's what matters. I think he was going to tell us, you know, the competitions they've lined up for these athletes. I mean, you're keeping them in camp. Doing what?
It's not rocket science. No. It's very simple. You know, the Ethiopians and the Kenyans that have, you know, they are specialists in long distance running. You just study what they have been doing and try to replicate it. You know, putting young athletes. What are they going? Are they going to school there? Yeah, are you putting them in solitary confinement? You know, these young people are supposed to be going to school and you know competing.
That's what we want. More competitions. We're happy for Lagos Marathon, and then we're happy for Pepe Brace.
Okay, maybe they've identified these talents and they put them in camp, and perhaps they're working on competitions as well for them.
Sports has gone science. You know, we did. Okay. That's gone scientific. We did a study of you know the sports in South Africa. Yeah. And they concluded that from discovery to the podium, you need certain, I think, 10,000 hours of training. Within that period, they come up with a lot of scientific approaches to ensure that these athletes get to their desired destination. You don't just put them in one place. You have to expose them to the best.
To the best. So maybe let them compete more. Maybe they're working on that. I believe that's why they are all in camp for conditioning and strengthening and everything you can think of. Exactly. All right, let's also listen to Udobong and also Iworima talking about East African runners, the reason why they're dominating and what we can do to catch up with them.
They have a culture of running, which has been their lifestyle over the years. I don't even want to talk about their climate or their temperature or what they say, altitude. But no, it's their culture. I mean, East Africans, they run, they hold their books, run miles to school, run miles back. Is that kind of traditional and native living has helped them to this level. When we say East Africans, we always get things wrong because we just think all East Africans. No, it's people from particular villages that have this. Apart from the altitude in their villages, their lifestyle in the villages help them. So we have people in Nigeria too. We have people in Jos, the Pangshin village. They are very good too. We've just not exposed them to competition. And in a very short while, Nigerians too will start winning this. In the next 5-10 years, I'm telling you that we'll start having Nigerians winning this competition.
You cannot feel bad for something you're not prepared for. It doesn't make sense. That's just a lot of energy. We are not. For them, it's a lifestyle. It's a national, it's like their inheritance in Africa. And if you want to take that from them, you have to do what they're doing and then some. So there's no need for us feeling bad. All we have to do is to do what we need to do to reach where their level is. That's it. You need to invest in long distance. You can train in Jos. I don't see why you cannot open a long distance camp in Jos. You can do, the weather in Jos is good. There's altitude, there are hill slopes. The incline helps with the training. You can invest. Subsequently, you can even go to Kenya. They have training camps. But I said invest in. Let's invest in. So we have it here. So we invest, and it's a long-term thing. It's not like 4 years. It's not. If you go there, they start from. For them, it's a life.
When Werima is talking, I mean, you have to listen to her. You know, former triple jumper, Commonwealth Games gold medalist. I mean, she's done a lot for the country, so she understands what she's talking about and what they need to do, not just in camp. Yes, they've started what she talked about, which is opening a camp in that particular village where you have the altitude and the right athletes who can run marathon. But don't just stop there. Competition, that's what they need for them to be able to compete among the East Africans. And
she talked about investments. It's not just a one-off investment.
Not the welfare and the feeding.
No, yeah, it's continuous, right? And she talked about how it's a very, very long process as well. To we're doing
be patient.
A lot of catching up right now. You know, to catch up with those guys, it's going to be a long-term process. So, that's how it is for the Lagos Marathon. The 2022 edition has come and gone. The Ethiopians have come back with a star for the big prizes. So hopefully Nigeria will start to make a claim to some of these awards and prizes in perhaps in 10, 20 years from now.
Okay.
If we have started.
Okay. But I think
hopefully
we need to go on a break, right?
Yeah, we need to go on a break.
Yeah, so when we come back, we'll be talking about Nigeria Professional Football League. And Kennedy Boboye, he has left Akwa United. No, has been fired. All right, let's take a look at results coming from Nigeria Professional Football League. Finally, yes, Remo Stars, their unbeaten run is over. Yeah, I'm not happy that it's over, but then, yeah, it's great news for everyone.
Great news for their opponents.
All their opponents, yeah, all the teams taking part. And the Rivers United are no longer, you know, they were beefing after that time when they lost. Katsina United at Kwara ended 1-0. Nasarawa and Sunshine Stars won all. Shooting Stars and Dakada. Shooting Stars, well, they're really shooting this time around 1-0 against Dakada at home. Enyimba and Niger Tornadoes. This was a shocking result. It ended in a draw. Other result, Rivers United, I mean, they were on fire after losing that last weekend. They tried to bounce back 3-0. Rangers and Abia Warriors 2-1. Lobby Stars and MFM. MFM, of course, they can't win at home, so neither can they win away from home. Cannon Pillars and Plateau United, Plateau United went to Cannon Pillars. And Plateau United obviously are not smiling this season at all. I mean, they're just beating everybody. So obviously, I mean, Ilechukwu, if I had watched that game, I believe would have been celebrating on the touchline from one end to the other. And Gombe United were the one who ended the run Remo Stars has been having. They went to the north, they went to Cannon Pillars, remember when they got a draw there. But they was already knocking on the door when we did lose our unbeaten run, finally lost. The Aqua United and Heartland, their third goalless game at home in 6 games. And then the coach had to leave, he couldn't take it anymore. Against Heartland, and Heartland went to Gombe. No, Heartland were at home against Gombe. It was 1-1, and then they went to Aqua United to get a goalless, to get a point. That's a bad result for Aqua United, reigning champions, right?
They had 2 penalties, right? They lost 2 penalties in this game.
Played by one person.
Femi Thomas made history. You know, the first player in since 2017 to save 2 penalties in one game. I think it was Olorunleke Ojo who did that in 2017 for Sunshine Stars against Niger Tornadoes. But one person took the penalty. Obong Friday, he missed the 2 penalties that has now, you know, led to the departure. Let's not say sad. Departure of Kennedy Boboye. And like Cecilia said, 3 consecutive home draws in 6 matches. And I think the stats are all over the place. 4 wins, 5 draws, and 3 defeats. They are 8 on the log with 17 points out of 12 matches. And for a coach that won the title last season, he took over from John Obu in December 2019. A lot was expected, and I think the management felt that we have given you so much, and much is expected from you, but you have not delivered. For me, I think it was too premature.
Yes. Precisely, because we've seen Aqua United starting very slow, and somehow they pick up. But
No, Lan, let me...
Yeah, somehow they pick up, and then before you know it, they started slow last season. But then I think the result wasn't this bad. I believe the reason why they had to let him go is because they are reigning champions. Being able to break the duck, winning the title, they felt they can't do better. We know that some of their key players left. But I think, as you mentioned, maybe they could have given him more time. But if you look at...
We're talking about Plateau United. They are second now. They didn't start as brilliant as they have done. I think their turning point was when they beat Rangers away last month. Since that, they have not lost. They went home. They got the victory. Now they have gone to Kaduna to beat Kano Pillars 1-0. So if you are going to sack the coach, they were really not in a terrible position. They are not far away from the top 4. But,
I think it's the Heartland game was really heartbreaking for them. Heartland, not a good side. I mean, literally bottom of the table.
Heartland just got a new coach.
A new coach, okay.
They got a new coach. So they're a new mentality. And obviously the man went there. Femi Thomas has not been keeping. I think this is his 2nd or 3rd game. So the man has, maybe he's changing, made a few changes and it's working out. So he should understand how football works. But
so, let me just pick up on what you said about, you mentioned the management, right? Because the story, the official word is Kennedy Boboye has left or has resigned, parted ways. So, but you mentioning the management seems like you're suggesting that perhaps
they let him go.
He was pushed. He was just nudged, and okay, guys, it's about time. Is that what you're saying? No. Or it's of his own volition and just feels like, okay, I'm having a good decision, I've got to go.
Sometimes as a coach, when you have won a title or titles, when you have proved yourself and suddenly you start experiencing dwindling fortunes, the management they may want to give you a soft landing. They don't want to put it out to the public that you were sacked. Just say, please, coach, just take a walk. We will just try and make it look very, very good, so that it won't tarnish your image. But we're already hearing that the man is being linked to MFM. I don't know how he's going to do that.
Okay, all right. Remember when he won the title with Plateau United next season also, they were not doing well, so he also had to leave.
I think something heartwarming happened in Kaduna yesterday. Maybe we'll have to talk about it.
Okay.
Plateau United won 1-0. And uncharacteristically, fans were applauding the female referee, Mado. They clapped for her and, showed appreciation for how she handled the game.
She must have done a good job, right?
Yeah, must have done a very good job. For the impatient and insatiable fans to applaud the referee after losing at home.
And even the players themselves, usually they incite the fans to start.
So I think it's encouraging. Maybe this particular referee should be given more matches to have handled that game.
Mante is a great referee.
Effectively.
Yeah, I mean, of course,
that's great.
The refereeing authorities would have seen her performance and definitely would look to give her more games going forward. And all right, so that's it for the Nigerian Professional Football League. Let's take a step down to the NNL.
The most important, yes, I can proudly say it because of what's happening right now. the most important league in the country. Yeah, the games that went down from Friday down to Sunday.
All right.
We'll start with match day 1 from Group A1. Tayo?
Abuja City 2-0 over Mighty Jets. There's also EFCC with a 2-1 victory over Zamfara. El Kanemi Warriors and Sokoto United battled to 1-1 draw, while ABS defeated Yobe Desert Stars by 2-0. In Group A2, Cecilia.
Yeah, Mulumfashi and Malafashi and Road Safety, then DMD and Dona United, Greenberg and Adama are United, then you have Jigawa Golden Stars and JM Liberty 2-0. It ended. That's A2.
In Group B1, Van Dreza and Bendel Insurance ended up being an anticlimax.
Yes, it was played in Lagos.
Yeah, played in goalless.
Okay, at Teslim Balogun Stadium.
Yeah.
Ikorodu City and Giant Brilliants goalless. It was at Teslim Balogun Stadium. Okay.
Gateway 2-0 over Campus GC. Osun United with a 2-0 victory over Ekiti United, while Abeokuta Stormers played a goalless draw with Ibom Youth. While in Group B2, we saw the debut of Sporting Lagos against Go-Round. Cecilia, wasn't a winning start.
Yeah, it wasn't a winning start. That game was entertaining. I was standing all through while watching it. I mean, I had to take my time to really go see the game. I think maybe tomorrow we'll be able to get some of the visuals, coming from the pictures coming up. From Go-Round experience side, when it comes to, NNL, they well experienced. Well, Sporting Lagos, it was their first match. It was a carnival. I mean, the halftime show was just like Super Bowl. Yes, I'll proudly say that because I totally enjoyed it. And then the fans who came in, I mean, imagine fans paying as much as 50,000 naira to get a VIP ticket and watch a game, and the entertainment was awesome. They have the game between, it ended 1-0, Go-Round scored first before, Sporting Lagos woke up. They had a lot of chances, plethora of chances, but they couldn't convert it until they brought in their number 9, and he was able to get that. They have Ijebu United and Calabar Rovers, Inewi and Crown, Werewolves and Abia Comment. You have FC 1 Rocket and Apex Cranes. Rockets winning by a lone goal. Would you just quickly wrap up of what went down NNL match day 1?
Yeah, but they've been positive vibes, from, like they said, it's the most important league in the country. I'm really, impressed with what the privately owned clubs have done. Yeah. The innovation, the initiative, and, trying to make sure that fans are encouraged to come and watch the game. Making it online. I think that's the standard, that's the best practice in the world, and we should, I want to see them do well. So maybe it could revolutionize the way we run clubs in this country.
All right.
And I just pray that as the season progresses, the desperation for teams who want to pick the NPFL ticket will not discourage them. Because a lot of attempts will happen along the line. But I hope they can be steadfast.
I hope they can. Match day 1, positive vibes. We're hoping by match day 10, 11, 12 is still positive vibes, right?
Yeah. All right, let's quickly take a look at the papers. I'll start with Sporting Life, of course. The deputy editor is right here in the studio. You have Alex Iwobi's performance threes Lampard. Yes, they beat Leeds United by 3-0. Of course, that's why he's really happy about his performance. He was really impressed. He was decent, yes. He was decent.
I've not seen Alex Iwobi so magnificent like that. And
in a while.
Lampard said he spoke with him before that game and told him that he believes in him. He should go. And he has been impressed with his work ethics in training. And that's what the coaches want. They want to see you work so hard. When you work so hard in training, then you could get some minutes. And I mean, he has proved the trust that Lampard had in him.
Which is a great one.
So let's take the last one. Okoye keeps first clean sheets in 3 months. All right, good one for Marco Okoye. Of course, we know all of the issues post-AFCON, but it's good to see him back in goal and keeping the clean sheet.
He's a Super Eagles #1, so any news from him will always generate publicity.
All right, that's all?
Yeah, that's, I mean, okay, we have a Sporting Sun. Yeah, one more. Moses Simon on fire. Scores sublime free kick to help Nantes to a victory. Replicate that against Ghana.
Days are
March 24th. We can't wait.
I feel so.
I feel so too.
Newcastle is knocking on the door, right?
I feel so too.
All right.
Maybe in the summer.
In the summer. Thank you so much for coming on the
Always
program.
a pleasure.
All right.
Appreciate your time. Thank you all for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Tayo Salam.
And I'm Cecilia Mogbe. See you on Sport tonight on Tuesday.
All right.